Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fibre Friends podcast. I'm Cheryl from My Needle Crafts.
And I'm Louise from Wildflower Wool.
We're here today to talk about some knitting and maybe a little cross stitch and
Whatever else.
whatever else.
Whatever else. I have some more hand exercises.
Oh, cool.
Should we start? Do you want to start out with some stretches?
Sure, I need some today.
Okay. I had two people. I had Debbie and Carrie both sent me another page of hand exercises for knitters and crocheters.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, some of the exercises were similar to the ones that we had shown a couple of weeks ago, but there
Mhm.
was a couple of new ones that I thought were really cool. Okay, the first one, I can't remember the exact names, but you put your hands as if you're going to pray, so in front of your chest, and then you're just going to like push your arm, just gently put some pressure on your hands downward. And then
Oh,
you're
yes.
supposed
To
to
feel
feel,
that strain and
do you feel
in
it
the
all in here?
yep.
Yeah, I know, I thought that was a good one. And the other one, I remember it was called the alligator. So you take your hand, lay your hand out, palm up, your opposite hand, reach underneath towards your thumb, and then you just twist your arm, your thumb downwards.
Ah,
Oh, I can really feel that one all in through here. Can you feel it?
yeah, it's not too bad, but yeah,
I wonder if different, okay, I can feel it more in my left hand than I can in my right.
me too. And maybe because we're both right-handed. Yes.
Mm.
You're left-handed, aren't you?
I am left-handed. Yeah, no, interesting, right?
Huh.
But this one, when I was doing this one this morning, and I could really feel it. I don't feel it as much now because I think I've stretched everything out.
Well, I can feel it a lot because I just ripped myself out of a sew-a-thon this morning and I'm a little sore. So,
Well, then there you go. And who,
especially,
I know, well, any kind of movement, right? Oh, there was another one. There was a third one on that sheet. And it was called, you put your wrists together and then you just twist your wrists one way and then twist the other way.
it's funny how the range of motion is better one way than the other for me.
Yes, definitely. When I twist to the left, I don't seem to go as far. And I remember I was telling you because I can feel really through my shoulders. And one of the knitters that we were doing a video chat with this week, she had actually printed me out some shoulder exercises. I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to actually get them, but so I've been doing this. I just been raising my shoulders up and then just really trying to let them down and relax everything. And that actually feels really good.
It's good to breathe out when you relax.
It's almost like yoga, isn't it?
Mhm.
Knitter's yoga.
Yeah, I have terrible posture on the best of days. So any of that is really helpful.
Yeah. I think when I'm knitting, I really tense my shoulders up. So I'm trying really hard not to do that. So how was your knitting week?
Um, Not too bad. I didn't get a lot done, but I started two new things. So I,
Two new things.
yeah, and I did quite a bit of cross stitch at the beginning of the week because after, I just needed to.
Well, you didn't get much done the week cross stitch done with the week before because it was focused on sock.
Yes, we did our
Thing.
sock challenge and I like to cross stitch on the weekends. So I missed that weekend. So this past weekend I did a fair bit over a couple of days and
Good.
whatnot.
I got quite a bit finished. Well, I did quite a bit and I have 3 finishes.
Wow.
I know. They're all small. They're all small, but a finish is a finish, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Can
Let
I
me
show
see.
Okay, I'm going to show you this one first. because I'm going to put it on and I might wear it.
I moved my camera around when we had technical difficulties. Am I still in a good spot?
Yep, you look good.
Thanks. Sorry.
Ta-da! A finished headband.
That looks awesome. I love it.
I do too.
You totally have to make one.
You know what? I love it. I'll put it on a sec. I just want to say I haven't measured the width. I'm just curious to see what it is. Every time I've knit headbands in the past, I've always, I think, made them thinner. And this is a bit,
Oh, yeah.
and I like how nice and wide this is. It's about 5.5 inches.
I love it. That looks so good. So it looks like it's a lot wider than 5.5 inches on the screen.
Well, wait. Okay, let me measure it. Maybe when it needs to stretch out a little bit.
Stretched out.
This isn't working so well.
It's a good spot. I can't see it.
Yeah, 5.5.
Oh, there you go. What do I know, right?
I don't. Well, I like it. With
I
the
like it
little,
a lot. I even like that. And it looks cute off to the side like that.
I like it off to the side. I think Sally said that it looked retro.
It does. And I was just thinking you could do all kinds of different things. Like you could use a ribbon or something else like tied around it, or you could put a
Sure
little
can.
button on there or something.
I
Yeah.
I love buttons as decoration. I think a button would look really cute.
You know what I mean? Like you could just even cinch it and stick a button.
Yeah,
So it's gathered instead of a wrap.
yeah.
Cool.
I
I
know.
like it.
I really like it too. I may be a headband convert. Is that what I want to say? A
That's the
converted.
first word that came to my mind.
Well, there was a lot of people left comments saying they liked headbands, and
I,
I was really surprised. I didn't realize headbands had such a big following. But it's true. I guess it doesn't mess your hair up maybe quite as much.
see, I like it a hat because it covers your hair really good. So if you're having a bad hair day,
Right.
you
So,
get lots of bad hair days with curly hair.
oh well, I have bad hair days all the time. I know, actually,
Oh,
maybe a headband. I like this.
good.
So this was Patton's Classic Wool. I knit it on a 5 mm needle, and I only used half the ball. I haven't weighed it, but there's definitely at least half the ball left here.
For sure. Okay, I'm making one this week.
I know. It's quick and easy. I'm going to make up a whole bunch, either for my Christmas box or for charity donations.
I have a gray, I think a dark charcoaly gray left over from my Meet Me in the Middle shop. Is that what that
Mhm.
one's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yes.
Can never go wrong with gray. Gray matches everything. It looks good.
Yes. I really like that. I never took you as a pink person, but pink looks really good on you.
You know what? I seem to. What do I have? I had 3 projects. This, my shawl, and my socks are all in shades of pink right now.
Nice.
Very unusual for me, but
So you-
I actually do like this.
yes, it looks very good. What color is your coat?
Black.
There you go.
I bought a black coat on purpose so it would, neutral. So whatever my knitwear is, it would match.
Right on. I know mine's like purple and like I was not thinking about knitwear when I bought it.
Purple is your favorite color, though, isn't it?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, like purples and rusty burgundy colors.
Yeah, like for clothing that I wear, I tend to grab it. I really like green. You can tell my walls, but
Yeah.
it's not a color I wear very often.
So what have you, okay, I showed one thing. Let's go to you. What do you have to show?
I have no finishes though.
Well, do you want, okay, so you want me to show a couple more finishes?
Sure.
Okay.
It's inspiring. Yay!
My hat is finished.
That looks awesome.
And you know what? I am told this was total accident. Look at the top.
That is cool.
Isn't that amazing?
Accident.
And it was a total accident. I had no idea it was going to come out like this. I just decided I knit it till I was almost the height of the hat I wanted because I knew I wasn't going to try and do because there's no places to do decreasing throughout the pattern. And I thought,
Right.
oh, that's okay. I'll just do a couple. I just totally winged it. I thought I'll just do a couple of rounds of gray, and then do an alternate a couple of rows of navy gray, and work some decreases in there. And I worked my last row as navy
I
and
love it.
pull it all together. That's what it turned out as.
Beautiful.
I love that. So it's done.
And the size worked out really well too. Look at those pretty floats.
Yeah, doesn't it look pretty on the inside?
Yeah.
I like it. So I haven't tried it on since I finished it. See what the height wise is. I was going
Oh
for
yeah.
9 inches.
Yep. Yeah, that looks
Okay.
great. It gives you a little height on top. It's not too snuggy.
I like this. And oh my gosh, does this ever feel nice? This is the Leo and Roxy Basics.
Gotta get me some.
So pretty. I'm gonna take a look at their website this weekend because I think this weekend is local yarn shop day, isn't it?
I think it is.
I'm definitely gonna order more of this yarn for sure.
What colors are you thinking?
All of them.
All of them? Or there's like 12, isn't there?
Yeah, and I already have 6. So I think I will get the other 6.
Nice.
I love this yarn. This may be my new favorite.
Favorite go-to.
It is lovely to work with. It feels silky soft. Silky soft, is that what I want to say? It's a merino nylon and it is lovely.
Soft and squishy. It looks soft and
It
squishy.
is lovely. I haven't washed it or blocked it or anything yet, but it'll look at that. I really like this.
Pattern's great. So you're gonna write that up and have it in your Ravelry store.
I think I will. Yes.
I can talk.
Ravelry is a little bit of a tongue twister though, isn't it? And oh my God, I love the top of this.
I love it too.
Talk about a happy accident. Good job. I wrote it down so I know what I did. So I'm thinking this should just be my signature design on all of my hats.
There you go.
We'll see. For right now, it's my new favorite thing until I do something else that I love equally as much. But
What'll happen tomorrow?
yeah, I know. I'll be like, oh yeah, forget about that. I'm moving on to the next thing. But yeah, I'll have to look and see. Well, I still have 3 skeins of this Leo and Roxy Basics that I haven't even wound up yet.
Yeah, you got pink, that raspberry color,
Yeah, and the orange.
and the orange.
Yeah, and then I think there was another blue, there was a white, maybe a cream, and a brown. I did not get the brown. Just need to fix that.
You do. Get them
Yeah,
all.
but I think because I want to do a whole bunch more color work, so I want to have a whole selection of colors. Yeah. I did one more color work. Okay. I can't believe I got 3 things finished this week. That's crazy.
You're a knitting machine.
I was knitting quick. Did I show you this?
Yes, I saw it.
Did you see it finished?
I saw it on your.
Oh, on Monday, my
Yes. Yes, I just watched that last night while I was working.
Okay, yeah. New Start Monday knit. So this was last Monday's New Start. So it's a double thick pot holder, knit and stranded. And this was, I knit this just for you, actually, Cheryl.
Just for me.
Just for you. Well, just because remember last week when we were talking about the color dominance and I was trying to explain about when you've got a pattern and one of them pops out more and then how your shapes interconnect, it makes a background pattern.
Hmm.
So this was what I was saying. So when you look at this, which color do you immediately see? Which diamond pops out?
Well, the blue does.
Yes.
The blue pops out to me, but then you made a comment about how if you look long enough at the pink, then you see the pink pop out.
Hmm.
So I can look at both, but initially it's the blue is
Yeah.
the pattern.
And that's how I knit it with the, it's actually kind of a tealy shade, and I knit that with in the left, so it would be the dominant color. And I wasn't going to put this little teal dot in here because I really wanted just the tangerine to be the background. But that's what, because when I knit this, I was just thinking I wanted an orange background with a teal diamond. But when you stack your diamonds on top of one another, your background also becomes a diamond.
Exactly.
So then this is where yarn dominance comes into play, is if you really want your one color to be the main color. If you hold it in your left hand, then even though you've got a tangerine diamond here, it won't pop as much as the teal.
Yeah, because the pattern is the exact same in both colors. It
Yeah.
just stands out more.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like this. This only took me a day to knit.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah. I did it on a circular needle, 16-inch needle, knitted in the round, and then Kitchener stitched the top and the bottom together.
Mhm.
I like this. I'm going to make more. I'm going to do
And
another.
that's cotton, correct?
Yes, I did this out of Bernat Handicrafter. And yeah, and I still, this ball of tangerine is going on and on. I had knit something. I think I finished a dishcloth with this because it wasn't a full ball when I started the hot mat.
Mhm.
And I still have a little bit left. So I think that means I'm gonna have to start a scrappy dishcloth to use up the rest.
You you can make a match.
A match set, yes. Dishcloth. Oh, I know. Look at that. My family's gonna get such great Christmas gifts this year. I am thinking about Christmas. This is an all-time new high for me to be thinking about Christmas and planning Christmas. What are we, where it's only April. After all these years, I'm finally getting my act together and actually planning gifts for people.
On the ball this
Yeah,
year.
before Halloween. That's usually when Christmas jumps to the foreground, and I think, oh, I have all these big plans. Uh, okay, so those are my 3 finishes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, pretty happy with them.
That's cool.
Happy with how they all turned out, and I just really want to remake all of them. I want to do another headband. I am going to do a pot holder this weekend, and that Leo and Roxy I immediately want to cast on. Maybe that'll be my New Start Monday on Monday. Haven't got that far to figure. It's only Friday now. I haven't figured out what my new start's going to be for Monday. Okay, so what are you working on? You said you started 2 new things.
So last Friday, while we were podcasting, I started my new pair of socks.
Okay.
How big they are.
It's a start. This is Coastal Stripes, correct?
It is.
Nice. Do I have any of that on my wall?
I don't know. I don't see it from here.
Oh. Maybe. My goodness, maybe I don't.
Better go
I
buy some.
I almost bought it when I was buying my Easter present Patons Kroy for myself. I picked up the coastal stripes and I put it down because I thought I needed to show a little restraint.
Well, I don't have any blue socks, I don't think. So I thought, sure, why not?
They'd look cute with, well, perfect with jeans, right? Blue socks and jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So
Good.
yeah, I don't even have the toes done yet. One's gray and one's blue.
Oh, that'll be fun. I was going to ask you, how do you, or did I ask you this before? How do you do your increases when you're doing your toe? Do you do make ones?
Knit front back on the
Yep,
first
front and back?
stitch,
Okay.
first and last stitch.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I do my toe up socks with yarn overs.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So like knit one and then a yarn over?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show it to you in a sec. Okay, so what else have you been working on? Or your
oh, I
socks?
started a hat.
So so hold on for the set. Those socks, they're gonna be full length, right? You do your typical
Oh, yeah.
toe up, two at
Yep.
a time, your
Yep.
foot,
The
half
usual
flat heel.
64 stitches on a 2 1/4.
Any pattern on the leg or top of the foot?
Haven't decided yet.
That makes me feel good. I haven't
I'll
decided.
when I get to the toe, I'll decide. Maybe I'll put a little stripe up the, I
Up
don't
the
know,
front or up the side?
up one side maybe.
Yeah.
I have this pair, well, I'm wearing them.
Oh, that's cute.
I was thinking about doing that, but I don't know if it would get lost in the stripe or not.
I know that's the thing, right? It would show up some, not as much as on the solid,
Yeah.
but
These have been through the washing machine so many times, I think they're felted now. They haven't
just
struck, but I think they're felted.
that just makes them cozier, right?
I know, that's what I was thinking every time I put them on.
Well loved socks.
That's right.
That's
They're
awesome.
well loved. So yeah, that's all I know about my socks so far.
Okay. Toe. So
Hopefully
next
hopefully I'll have more done on them by next week.
we'll see if there's a pattern or not. I'm I'm guessing that there will be a pattern. I think you'll decide to put something up the side.
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. We'll see. I'll be excited to see him next week. So what else? I know. I thought, well, I think I know. What's your second start?
Oh, my hat I started on Wednesday
Yeah.
night. So I was talking about doing this a couple weeks ago. I think we were talking about it last week too, weren't we? Because I had to decide how many stitches to put on, and because I'm just winging it. But this is the leftover yarn from Debbie at the Loving Path that I knit my fingerless mitts out of.
Yes.
And I have all these bits and whatnot. I measured and I had 85 grams left.
Okay.
So hopefully that's enough for a fingering weight hat, but that's how much I got done. I'm still on the ribbing.
Ribbing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, and I just pulled like 4 stitches off.
Oops. So what size needle did you end up going with?
So I'm using, hold on, 2.75s.
Okay.
And I don't know how many stitches because I forget. I think 150.
150. Okay.
I think it's either like 150 or 154. I forget.
Okay.
I had like 100 and what was it, 185 that I ended up with when I counted.
You got carried away.
And I took a bunch out. Well, that's only because I wasn't really counting while I was putting them on. And, you know, I was worried about it not fitting around my head, and my
Yeah.
needle's really short, so I can't even guess how big this is gonna be. But it is quite stretchy.
It'll be good.
It's very stretchy, like,
Got lots of stretch. So you did a 1 by 1 rib?
yes,
And
yeah,
what kind of cast on?
long tail.
Nice.
We should discuss that long tail cast on that I did.
Yes, you should.
Because I only have 85 grams, I didn't want to waste even the smallest amount of yarn. So I cast on using the main ball and then one of my little nuggets left over from before. And I did a slip knot with the two. And then I put that on the needle to like just draped it over how you would start,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
like
use.
if you're doing your normal,
Yep.
right? Like this.
Mm-hmm.
So my slip knot was just sitting here.
Right.
And then I held the two different balls to go ahead and start my long tail cast on. So when I was done, I just undid that
Mm-hmm.
and then started with the next
Right.
stitch.
So you didn't count your slip knot as
No,
one of your cast on and then check it off.
right.
I know.
So now I've got three little ends here.
Yes. I know it works great, doesn't it? Because then you
Did-
don't have to
I don't know
estimate.
how many times I've cast on something that's like, you know, 100 or 200 stitches, and you got to do it like 3 times because you don't have enough pulled off for your tail.
Yep.
So yeah, that worked great.
Yeah. And then in your case, because you don't want to end up having extra because you may need that right at the very end to finish your hat. So
Exactly.
I know it's a neat little trick, isn't it?
It is. It
It's
is
a
a
good
very cool.
way. Do the long tail without having to pull out a long tail. Just
Yes.
make a little short tail and then carry on. A strand from each ball or a strand from the inside and the outside. As long as you've got 2 strands,
So I learned something new this week.
that's
So that was great.
that's good. I know it's fun to learn something new, isn't it?
Hmm.
Oh,
Hold
speaking
on.
of learning something new, do you want to know what I learned last night?
Yes, I do.
Jocelyn from Northern Knits Podcast and I did a live podcast last night about crocheted socks.
Oh,
Have
nice.
you? Because I know you're a big crocheter.
Well, I used to be, I don't anymore. It hurts my hands too much.
Okay. Okay. So have you ever crocheted socks?
I have not, but I know years ago, a friend of mine, she only crocheted and she was attempting a pair of crochet
Okay.
socks.
Well, I had no idea because my crochet skills are really limited, right? I think the only item I've ever made is a doll blanket.
Okay.
Probably like at least 20 years ago, maybe a little more, for Anita's doll. And a few years ago, because it seems like crochet comes around every few years, it pops up on my radar, right? And a few years ago, I had done tried to do these really simple snowflakes or stars, or I don't know. There was something with a point on them, anyways.
Yeah.
They were a little wonky. They maybe didn't turn out the best. And I think I did a granny square or two, but that's the first time I'd ever tried a granny square, was just a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so my crochet, I know how to do it, but I just haven't really ever done a lot of it. So the thought of crocheting socks, I was really had no idea, like how you do the cuff, like could you rib? I had no idea if you could rib in crochet, or how you would do the heel, or would you do toe up, or would you do cuff down? So Jocelyn had a sock started, and so she walked us through the whole process of how you could do it. And now it's like the curtain was pulled back, and now I'm like, it doesn't seem so daunting.
Yeah. I could
But
totally see it, how even thinking about it, I know how I would do it toe up. I know exactly how I would do it. Not sure how I would do a heel unless I did it as an afterthought and just left the opening.
Yeah, and I think she said that she has done either afterthought or a short row heel.
Mhm.
And she was talking, I remember seeing her post some pictures on Instagram, the sock that she was making, and it was a mock short row heel in her knitted sock.
Mm.
So when she was talking about the crocheted sock short row, it is because that's what I asked her. I'm like, well, do you do wraps and turns in crocheting when you go back and forth? And she said, yeah, she said, no, it's just decreases and increases,
And
which,
it's the stitch you use too, because a half double crochet is taller than a single crochet.
yeah, and that's
So
what she,
depending
that's,
what you're using,
yeah, was using a half double.
yeah, because it's more compact and a thicker stitch.
Okay.
Good way to describe it.
So, but that all of a sudden that was like a light bulb moment. I'm like, oh, that makes okay. I could see that where you just decrease and then you increase on the other side back out, which is very much exactly, well, I think it is exactly like how this mock short row heel that she's doing in her knitting that I want to try at some point. So, anyways, it was really I came away like I'm sure if people go back and watch it, I'm sure you can see my light bulb moments as she's talking. All of a sudden, you can see the light bulb go off in my head, and I'm like, I get it. That makes sense. I can see. I can visualize what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was my
Yeah, and crochet is not that hard once you learn. It's like knitting. Once you learn to read it and see where the stitches are, you know where to, put your hook in for the next one, which is where a lot of people have trouble. They just don't know where to stick the hook.
well, yeah, that's part of my problem. Well, see, I was trying to crochet a little bit while Jocelyn was talking last night. So I just grabbed a 4 millimeter hook, some worsted weight yarn. I don't even know if I have it. Oh, I do have it here. I think I'm a tighter crocheter though. Like
Yeah,
this is my little bit that I did because it was getting too tight.
a
And
4 millimeter hook is kind of small for worsted
is
weight.
it? Yeah,
A
well,
little
that was
bit.
kind of what I was. It was getting a little tight, and then I was finding myself just randomly picking up. Well, because I was talking and I wasn't counting, so I didn't know how many stitches I chained, but so it was kind of doomed from the beginning.
And then you end up with more or less than you started with
Well,
because
that's right, because my edge, I always forget to pick up the stitch at the edge, so then it gets a little
yes, I
wonky
was
looking.
just gonna say that's the most common error is people missing that last stitch on the end.
Yeah, and then you start making a triangle kind of thing. Anyways, I'm feeling excited and knowledgeable and smart now about a little bit more about crochet.
Nice.
Jocelyn was she kept putting in there a couple times. She's like, Louise, jumping into a crocheted sock might not be a good idea. And Sally and Susie were leaving great comments and questions as we were doing this live last night. And I think it was Sally had suggested that a crocheted hat might be a good way to start.
Yeah.
So you never know. I
Well, it's in
might,
the brown, so you're less likely to
well,
use that stitch on the end.
that's what I thought. I thought all this time, all the crocheting I have ever done has been flat, and it's that edge stitch that gets me. So that was kind of another light bulb moment last night was, hey, why don't I just knit in the round?
Mhm.
Get rid of that edge stitch business. And so who knows? Maybe that's the thing that's been holding me back all these years is I should have been crocheting in the round. But I don't think it's going to replace my knitting anytime soon, but I would like to give it a try, I think, at some point. So we'll see. So what are you working? You're knitting right now, aren't you? Your hat. See, and I finished everything. I don't have anything to knit.
No.
And I was going to get my needles and I was going to cast on a headband. So what I really want to do, I like this, but I'm thinking, I'm like, how many different patterns could you do?
Oh, well, I totally pictured it with a cable down the
Yeah,
length. So
I know, like there's so many options, right? And I had thought about twisted stitches.
you could even crochet one of those
In the round or flat?
either.
Flat, I'm back to edge stitches though.
That's okay.
But you know what? I need to get over that. See, by me saying I don't want to crochet flat and deal with that edge stitch, that reminds me of knitters who say they don't want to purl.
I love purling.
I know I like purling too. And so I don't ever want to be afraid of a stitch or something. So I think I just need to practice crocheting flat.
And watch lots of YouTube videos.
Oh, well, yeah, right. That's it. I
So,
just need to learn it.
so you have like nothing on the needle right now?
Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I could knit on this. I've got, did you see my new, oh, you would have, if you watched the video, you would have seen my new Start Monday. Uh-oh, I'm caught, I think.
Shorties?
Yes.
Right.
So this was my Monday. I've kind of gotten a habit of every Monday putting up an Instagram poll and letting people vote. And this was the 2 yarns. And everybody voted for the 70s stripe. I know, look what you've started. You knit
I,
yourself a pair of those socks. Now Alyssa's knitting a pair, and
I love it.
I know. So I've got just a teeny tiny start.
A teeny tiny start like my socks.
Oh, even less than you. Less than yours. That's all I've got.
Yeah,
But
mine are much bigger.
but it started. And I did the Turkish cast on. Have you tried a Turkish cast on for your toe up?
I have not.
I think you should try it next time.
I really get set in my ways.
You do. Okay. Oh, look at this. You know why I haven't been knitting on this?
Oh, no way.
I know. Isn't that a bummer? Oh, well, look at that. I'm just going to do it right now while you're here for moral support.
Ugh, that's so annoying.
Yeah.
Especially right at the beginning of the bowl, too.
Oh, well.
Those darn Patons people.
Dear, they put a knot in there. When you think for that little bit, couldn't they have just tossed that little bit out and started a brand new? Oh,
The
well.
guy who spit spliced it for you.
That's right. Probably, right? But okay, so what was I gonna say? So yeah, so the Turkish cast on. I have no problem doing Judy's magic cast on because I've done it and I've taught enough people to do it that I know, right? I always think top finger, bottom finger, top needle, and you alternate
Yeah.
between the two. But this one is even easier if it's something that you have to stop and think about how to do Judy's magic cast on and which way you're alternating your yarns and whatever. This one's even easier because you just started by you literally just wrap the yarn around 2 needle tips.
Oh, yes, I've seen that one.
Yeah, and I did it with 2 circular needles, and some people were saying they have done it with 1 circular needle. So I'm going to research that this weekend.
Cool.
I'm joined back on.
Oh, good. So did you just start knitting and leave the end at the edge and you'll weave it in later?
Yeah, yeah. When I saw that there was a knot coming, I did that where I held my breath and knit faster, so I would get across the needle, so I would be at the edge. So I don't have a very long tail, but it'll be enough to weave it in.
Well, that totally helps to, knit faster and hold your breath.
I find it does almost every time. So I was saying, so I started doing my increases for toe up socks by doing a yarn over.
Okay.
And I find it really helps me because I don't have to keep track or think about or look at my stitches to know if I am supposed to be on an increase round or a plain knit round. Because you can look when I get to, I don't know, you can't probably, can you see this on the screen or is it too teeny tiny? When I come to here, right here, I'm at my second last stitch and it is a yarn over.
Yeah, I can see it.
See that? So
Yeah.
I know that I'm on a plain knit round because that was my increase. And so when I get to the yarn over, then I just knit it through the back of the loop to close up the hole. So when you're,
That's how I do it too, basically. Just, if it's because I do knit through front back
okay, so you
on
can
the
see.
last stitch, so you can see that you've done it or not done
That's
it.
true. Yeah, that would
Doesn't mean I don't still mess it up, but
I know, right? I I think before I was always doing like a make one left, make one right, and I was too worried about having my slants going this way and that way. And then I found it too hard to be, because then I'd have to literally stop and think and look at my sock and think, okay, which way do I want it to lean? And then I've got to go in the front or in the back. And I came across this way of doing the yarn overs, and it just like, not that all that tried to figure out your lean lefts and lean rights. I mean, that's not I mean, it's really not a huge thing. It was just a little,
Gilly.
it was just a little bit of mental power, that I just didn't want to expend having to
Oh,
think.
yeah.
So, and I just find the yarn overs work so slick. And then because when I come back and if there's no yarn over there, then I know I need to make one. I
And so you don't end up with any little holes or anything.
nope, because when you knit through the back of the yarn over, it twists it closed, so it just
Yeah,
looks like a
okay,
regular stitch.
right.
I've got,
Cool.
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch this out. So I started out, I had 2 needles to cast on for the Turkish cast on.
Mhm.
And then once I got going just a few rows, I unpurposely knit. So I started knitting the first few rows of the sock with 2 circular needles. Have you done that before? Knit with 2 circulars?
I haven't, no.
So the trick with that is when you're knitting with 1 needle, you have to make sure that you are knitting with just that needle. The second circular just hangs.
Right.
Because if you end up knitting, if you've got your stitches on 1 needle and you knit with the needle tip of the opposite needle, all your stitches end up on 1 needle and you're not on the 2 circulars anymore. So I did that on purpose because I thought having 2 circulars hanging was just kind of, I thought I'll
Yeah.
get rid of one.
Some people
So
knit their whole socks like that.
what's that?
Some people knit their whole socks like
Oh,
that.
yeah. So Dora Lynn always knits her socks on 2 needles because I showed her how to do that a long time ago now. And
Yeah.
she just keeps doing it. There he is. Hey, Gilly. Oh, you're gonna be the star of the show now.
It's like, I want to go bark more. I want
Uh,
to go bark, bark, bark.
but and I had fun. I enjoyed I mean, the few rounds that I did doing 2 circulars. I actually kind of liked it and thought I may do that again. But in the end, I just put it back onto Magic Loop. But now I'm going to switch it out again because do you know what I ordered last week? Didn't I say I was going to go on to Suzanne's site Knit Stitch?
Oh, yes.
And I got this new needle. I'm going to try. So I think I'm going to slip this onto this. It's a 9.5-inch needle.
Okay.
Let's take a look at it.
So I got a question about the other first.
Yeah.
Why do you use 2 circulars to do the Turkish cast on? Can you not just do that with like one long one, like Magic Loop?
Well, that's what I'm going to, people said they can, and they have. So yeah, you can do it. I think just I haven't tried it on doing magic loop. I think the only reason, oh no, I'm gonna say nope, that won't work because you'll only have, yeah. I mean it totally should. So I don't know why, unless what I was unless they intended on just knitting on with two circulars. Because okay, let's see if I can wing this. So if we've got a Scott, if we're gonna cast on here now, we would make a
I think
slip knot.
to pull your cord out and it would just make it all sort of loose. Oh, you're wrapping around all the way around.
So you go all the way around, and you wrap on half the number of stitches, right? So if you wanted, um, oh, like 34 or however, well, I don't, let's say if you want 20 stitches, you're going to make 10 wraps because you'll have 10 stitches on top and 10 stitches on bottom to give you your full 20. So you wrap half the number of stitches you want, and then you give it a turn, literally upside down. And then I pulled out, this came out so that you didn't have a needle, and then you just knit. See, I'm thinking, can we do this? If you pull that bottom needle out and then knit. Oops.
Because you're knitting along one side, right?
Yeah. So if you knit across the top.
Of course, you won't be able to go back because you have your work on there.
I know, that's it. Because when you get to the end, but this must be how you do it. I'm going to watch some YouTube videos this weekend and see if there's any other trick, but I'm thinking this must just be. So I've knit across the top half of my stitches, and then you would turn it around. Okay, and if I didn't have my work here, I should be able to pull this through and then slide this onto the cable and slide this needle tip back in.
Knit that side. Yeah, that would work.
I would think that should work.
There you go.
So I guess it's all in how you want to carry on knitting your sock.
I think my mom does it like that, to be honest with you, because I think that she had trouble um, getting the hang of the Judy's.
Yeah. And some people do, like when you first, I know when I teach it, it's really kind of awkward how you're alternating. And this totally, if that just kind of doesn't stick in your brain, the
Yeah.
Turkish is a really easy way. And it gives you a really pretty, like, I mean, it looks just very exactly like Judy's Magic Cast On does, but it's a great seamless way to cast on. So anyway, so now that I dropped my needle. So I've had fun. I've done 2 circulars for a few rounds. I've done magic loop for a round. And now I'm going to slide it onto this. So I guess it's called C knit. It's Japanese. And it is a 9.5 millimeter because it's an asymmetrical. The one needle tip is that 1/2 inch longer.
You mean a 9.5 inch?
Oh, what did I say?
You said 9.5 millimeter.
Oh, yeah, no.
9.5 inch long cord needle.
9.5 inch. Yes. So instead of a 9-inch circular, it's a 9.5 inch circular. It has an
Okay.
extra 1/2 inch because that needle tip is a little bit longer.
So in what millimeter of needle size?
2.25. So I'm going to slide this onto my work. So the needle tip that is a little bit longer is in my left hand. So I have a little bit more to hold on to.
Okay. Are those wood?
They are. This feels really nice. The needle tips swivel.
Oh, that's,
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this. Yeah, it does. I like it because sometimes how you have to just kind of like twist and unkick it, right? Well,
yeah,
this just turns all on
that
its own.
looks so nice with on your hands while you're knitting, like you don't
Yeah.
have to
Oh, I'm
sit.
really excited to try this. I just have to figure out now which way I want to slide this on. This needle tip feels really nice. Even I'm just sliding the stitches. I guess I could have knit them on, but I'm just going to slip them over. The needle tip feels nice. Has a nice point on it. So I'm hoping, I don't think the extra 1/2 inch should make a difference.
Not really, because I wouldn't think so.
I don't think so either. Oh, shoot. I think I did go the wrong way.
You should have knit it.
I should have. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna put them back on and do it again. Oh well. Slide them off. Purlwise. Oh, and there's my yarn over. I know I'm excited about this. And I think once I get this on this 9-inch needle, then I'll just be able to zoom around. I'm like you though, I haven't decided what I'm going to do once I get past the toe, if I'm going to put a pattern or if I might just knit it plain.
I've been liking plain lately for some reason.
Well, it's just, you don't have to think.
It's
And then,
not even that. I think I just like the way they feel and stuff. Oh
okay.
my, just because it's a nice, consistent.
Yeah. I find for me, I'm just really liking things that are easy, not
Mhm.
no, yeah, just not having to think too much, right? I just like the idea of being able to go round and round and round.
I
And
like my textured socks. I really love them, but I find them to be actually kind of warm, a little
really?
extra warm. Yeah,
And why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe just because of the texture makes them a little bulkier. I don't know.
Uh, Hmm. I've never thought about that, but that could be.
Theoretically, it doesn't make sense, but like Hermione's, I have 2 or 3 pairs of Hermione's
Yeah.
socks, and I find them thicker
Hmm.
than just a regular stockinette.
Just that extra texture. That totally
Yeah,
could be, for sure. I don't know. Well, these are going to be little shorty socks. So really, what's the point? There's not going to be a leg. And but now I'm envisioning them with my Birkenstocks, right? Because
oh yes,
so I could
because
do a little pattern on the foot. I don't know. I'll have to see. I think I'll just do plain.
just do plain.
I
They're a
think,
nice straight.
yeah.
I did mine plain. So how many inches of ribbing should I do on my hat, do you think? 2 inches, or is that too much? How many did you do on your color work one?
I did. I Oh, I put it in the bag. I will tell you. I
Did
did
you
not do
measure,
two
or
inches.
did you measure, or did you just say, oh, that looks good, and then start?
I think I did. Oh, I only did an inch,
Oh, okay.
which is funny because because I don't mind ribbing and purling. So I always think I'm going to do less of a ribbed cuff. And I always end up like my socks. Sometimes my socks will have a 2.5 inch ribbing cuff on them because I just get going around and round and round. And before I know it, I'm over because I usually aim for 2 inches. And I know my last pair had 2.5 because I just kept going.
I just find it addicting. Like I sat and did all of this Wednesday night watching TV after we were done our knit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I like ribbing. I would say I just kind of go for what it looks like. I'd say you're good. Then are you going to do a round or two of just plain knit and then put your panel of lace in there?
Maybe yes. There was no break on the gloves. It started like right at the ribbing.
Okay. Okay.
So I might do one round and then start.
And how many stitch lace panels do you have?
Just 8. Pretty sure. I could be wrong. I better look. I think it's 8 stitches. But that doesn't make sense. That would only leave 4 in the middle.
You know what? Okay, what do you think? Do you think there's anybody sitting at home watching this right now going, Louise, what are you doing?
Because you could have just kept knitting.
No, because I haven't finished my toe increases.
Oh no.
So I don't think so. This isn't gonna fit on a 9-inch circular yet. Okay,
What the heck?
I got too excited. Well, okay, here I am sliding them back onto the the long needle one more time. But aren't they going to look cute on here when I can actually knit on there?
Yes, they are.
For heaven's sake.
11 stitches. The pattern's 11 stitches.
Okay. Do you have 2 really cute stitch markers that you can use to mark your pattern?
Oh, I don't need to.
You're not going to? You're just
No,
going to.
the first, it's 2 pearls and then the lace and 2 pearls.
Oh, so you'll know when you hit those purl stitches then. Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, 12 stitches isn't going to be very wide on a hat, but.
Would you do 2? Would you do 2 panels side by side?
No.
Okay, just a thought.
I'll just do the one.
Yeah.
I'll wear it off to one side.
It'll look cute. I think that is great. I can't wait to see it.
Where's my measuring tape?
Okay.
I have 1.5 inches of ribbing.
Do you? Oh my God, I would have thought you had at least 2.
No.
Okay, so
Just
1.5 should be good.
1.5. So I might do a couple more rounds.
Yeah, go to 2. You're yeah, either way you're good. Do what you like. I always like a little more ribbing usually. But,
Yeah.
well, I've managed to take this sock off the needle and put it back on the needle, and I don't think I've split any stitches or dropped any. Oh my gosh. Rookie mistake.
Oh, well, it's because you're so excited to try out those needles.
No. I guess I better just sit here and get my increasing done, get up to my 64 stitches, and then slide it on the needle. I know as I'm sliding it on, I'm like, wait a sec. I'm like, why is this not look like it's gonna knit in the round? Silly, silly. Okay, so here we go. Here again is the needle. It's just gonna sit here patiently waiting.
So it's a wooden tips. And what is the cable? Is it like a coated metal?
No, it just feels like a plastic,
Oh, okay.
but really pliable. No kinkiness on there. I like it. It feels nice. And the swivel, oh my gosh. I like that. Okay,
Nice.
you're gonna have to wait till next week so I can report back because I can't try it out quite yet.
That's okay.
That's right. I will just, yeah. So do you have any goals, knitting goals for the weekend or next week? Just your hat
I'm just
or
gonna work on my socks and my hat this week. Yeah,
yeah,
I think so.
that sounds like a good plan. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. I think it's supposed to be cool. It's not supposed to be nice and warm like last weekend.
No, like it's gonna get above, like it'll get into the double digits tomorrow and the next day, maybe 13 or something, but
Well, that's not too bad.
here we go again.
He's a busy boy, keeping
Oh,
us
he's
safe.
got to talk about everything that goes on.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. I'm starting a new color. The orange stripe.
I know, like when you get going on them, each color only lasts about 2 rounds, 2.5 rounds or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, they worked up fast because it's like, oh, a new color. Oh, a new color.
Have you worn yours yet?
Yes, I have.
You?
They've been worn and they're back in the wash again. I haven't wore the new ones I finished though yet. I want to wash them first. I don't
Hmm.
know why I have a thing about it. But I like to wash them before I wear them.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, they feel funny. I don't know.
You think so?
They're not as fluffy.
Okay. See, I don't. I finish them and I wear them immediately. I don't.
So is yarn like fabric? So when they make fabric, they put a sizing in it.
Oh,
So do they do the same thing with yarn?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because
But
yarn really like blooms and whatnot when you wash it, right?
it does. I like to
Must
think
be
it
just
doesn't have all that chemical stuff in it because I know the one where I really got my eyes opened to why you need to wash any clothing that you buy before you wear it.
always.
Yeah, was when Debbie Zeraldo and I were doing our yarn dyeing a couple years ago, a few years ago, and we were dyeing some shawls, and she had some linen and cotton shawls, and we were going to indigo dye them.
Mm.
So we had to, part of the process, I think, was to put like you had to get the cotton. I think we had it in like a pot of water on the
Yeah,
stove and just
first.
simmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when we dumped that water out, it was so nasty. I've never seen anything so scary looking. All the crap that came out of that fabric.
Yeah. I wash almost all the only fabric I don't wash is the linen that I get. So, but all my cotton, I wash it all
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, I was really, um, yeah, I was surprised. I was really surprised.
And clothes. When I buy new clothes, I always wash them because they just itch my skin.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I should. Okay, there's a good question. I wonder what everybody does. See, yeah, I never wash my socks first. You always do. So I wonder what everybody else does.
Not saying I haven't wore them right away, but most of the time I wash them first.
Yeah.
Just like the
Mhm.
way they feel after they get washed.
Well, that's all right. Oops, what have I done? Maybe I should start washing mine too.
Mm.
I'll think about it. Oh, so I think is that everything that we had? Oh, you know what? We had a lot of people express some interest in a yarn dyeing weekend.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to think about that if we want to pick a weekend, how soon we want to do that. If we want to do it at the end of May or if we want to do it beginning of June. I don't know. What
So is this with things, dyeing with things that are like readily available, like say Kool-Aid or,
We could. That's what we did last time, just because it was readily available. Everybody could get, or like food coloring dye or the cake icing dye.
right,
I don't know. We should yeah, talk about what we I mean it could be
what options there are.
yeah. I mean that unless you want to go ordering, you know, actual acid dyes, which probably most people aren't going to want to do because when you may never use it again, right? Or it may just be a kind of a once a year you want to dye yarn. But there are things like we could do if we, well, maybe if we wanted to wait till later in the summer and do it, we could do more natural dyeing because then you could do like in the fall, there's goldenrod for sure is wonderful, or onion skins. If
Mhm.
we had people just kind of collecting onion skins over the next few months, onion skins gives you a really nice brown color. We could do onion skins are easy. Tea, you can dye with tea.
Mhm. And do you use, is it vinegar as the mordant or
That's what I always have used because it's handy. Everybody has it around.
easy? For sure.
There are some different ones. There's alum, but I have got some at the bulk food store because it's different. And I always have to, I was going to get confused. There's two kinds of alum. Like there's one that you can get in the grocery store that I think you use in making pickles, but I'm not sure that's the right one to use for the dyeing. So yeah, I just always use vinegar because I find it easier. But things like beets don't work that well as
Oh
much.
no,
No, because you would think, right? Anytime if you eat beets and you
yeah, stains
it
crazy.
stains, but it does not unless somebody else has had better luck with it. It dyes. Like you think it's working, you can make your dye stock, you can put your white wool in there, you can heat it up and you get a really like a pinky reddy kind of color. But as soon as you rinse it, 100% of that dye goes
It
literally down
doesn't,
the kitchen sink. Unless
wow.
unless there's a different type of mordant, unless like vinegar didn't hold, the heat in the vinegar didn't make it hold. So, but I
Huh.
think I have used eggplant, red cabbage, gave you kind of a purpley color. Marigolds work great. Geraniums, I think I've used geranium flowers. And the only trick with flowers, you may think, oh, I'll plant pink geraniums and I'll
Like,
get pink dye.
yeah.
Most natural dyes give you shades of yellow and beiges, kind of greeny yellows, beiges. That's what you get from most flowers. And using different mordants, you can alter the color a little bit or make it brighter or deeper. But some of the mordants are toxic, like
Mhm.
using
And you have to remember you have to dump that out later, right?
yeah. So I don't like using any of those. That's why I just like using the vinegar and and then if you're just using vinegar, you can do it in the kitchen or you could do it in the microwave
Right.
if you know. But anyway, so
Well,
that's a so
fun.
we can think about that. But I mean, there again, people can still use because we did it last summer, and you can still use your food coloring,
Mhm.
right? We don't have to do something different. If everybody enjoyed doing the food coloring, the Kool-Aid is tricky because in Canada we don't have the single packets. It's all the pre-made stuff with the sugar already in it, and you don't want to use that because your yarn will be sticky. It is, yeah. And then you think, oh, I can rinse it out, but it's no, it doesn't work that well. I don't suggest doing that at all. So yeah, for us, getting the Kool-Aid packets is not an option, but the Wilton's cake icing, the little jars that you can buy I think Michael's has them and
The bulk store, maybe?
Yes, the bulk store. Yep, you can get those there and you just use a little tiny bit and then you can mix them, like mix your colors together to get different shades. Like that is really,
That sounds like fun. I've
yeah.
never tried any yarn before ever, so
Ooh.
I kind of would like to, yeah, you can do like microwave, can't you? You just
Yes.
wrap it up and put it in the microwave.
Oh, yes, you bet. I have, yes, you can.
I want to try.
It's fun. I have yeah, I have a microwave down in my basement that I use just for dyeing when I was using acid dyes. But yeah, it's good. You just get a glass, kind of whatever you have, an 8x8 or a 9x13, whatever will fit in your microwave. Or um like what do I say? Like a round pot or a casserole dish or any kind of glass dish.
Yeah,
And yep, that works perfect in the microwave.
cool. I have to try that. I do have a nitty naughty too to wind my yarn onto.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the only thing. If you have something like that comes in a ball, like classic wool or all this white Croy, you have to, well, you don't have to. I mean, you can dye it in the ball. Oh, this is an old one. Look at that old label. But
but your color won't be consistent throughout.
no, you get
But
a very gradient kind of
yeah, you can do the old fashioned, like you're winding up the extension cord around your
yeah.
elbow.
Well, you can use you have a Swift, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you can do it the reverse. Just put the ball on the floor or in a bowl or whatever if you don't want it running around the floor. Find your end, and when you've got your Swift open, you just wind it around once or twice on your Swift to get it started, and then spin your Swift around, and it will take it from the ball and it will wind it into a skein on your Swift. And then while it's on the Swift, what I always do is I take some acrylic, something that's not going to dye the same color as your yarn, and at least 3 places do
Yeah.
a really, really loose figure 8, like really loose. So your yarn,
Yeah.
and then pop it off the Swift, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, you can use the thin plastic zip ties from the dollar store too.
Oh, yeah, I've never done that, but yeah, I suppose that would work. Yep. Yep. And then
And then
yeah,
it's good for hanging it afterwards to dry.
yes, that would be, oh, that's a good
I've
idea.
seen that.
That's a good tip. I like that. I've never done that, but that would.
Not
That
that I've
would
tried it, but I've seen it. Yeah, that's exciting. I definitely want to try that at some time.
yes. Well, then we'll figure out, yeah, if we're not going to necessarily do, and I mean, I guess say we could also do different dyeing times if we wanted to do some natural dyeing when things are when they're in season.
Mhm.
In later in the summer. I can't remember goldenrod, if that's end of August or into September, maybe into September, I think.
I
When
think so.
goldenrod, we could always do a weekend of goldenrod dyeing. Later in the summer, if anybody who plants marigolds, I just deadhead my marigolds and just let them dry, put them in a cardboard box, let them dry, and then I keep them and then use those for dyeing later on too. And the same with your onion skins. You can keep those. I just, because when the outer peel is all dry anyways. If you get that layer right close to the onion, I don't use that. I just take the dry crunchy
Brown.
stuff
Yeah,
and I just throw it in a bag and leave it in the kitchen.
I don't buy onions. I get them already chopped.
Oh, do you?
I'm lazy.
Well then, well, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I can go down to the Delmar down here and get a whole bag of frozen, already chopped onions for like $3 or something.
Oh wow.
Oh
Well,
yeah, super cheap, and I don't have to do any work.
then that might actually be worth it.
Yeah, but I do have a little bit of cross stitch I can show you. because I got something done. So those who haven't seen this already, I'm working on Modern Folk Embroidery's 2021 sal called Fruits of Plenty. Sorry, it's black and white. But
Pretty.
so, and it's a monthly sal. There's a portion comes out at the beginning of every month. So I'm just working on April's. And I've got
Oh,
this filled in here. I've been working on this week.
I like that. That's so pretty.
Yeah. Is it focused?
It looks really good.
Yeah.
It's really making me want to get my stitching out. How many? I've been saying that for years. One of these days I'll actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. This month is kind of intensive of stitching. It's this section in here that I'm working on about
Okay.
that much.
Wow.
So a lot of stitching this month,
Well,
but that's okay.
that's extra fun then, right?
That's right. It's addicting. It's like doing my ribbing. It's addicting. I can't put it down. That's why I have to think carefully every night what I pick up, because I know I won't put it down again.
So you don't do very good by saying I'll do this for an hour, then I'll switch this.
No, I can't do that. I'm mostly a monogamous person, so it's hard for me to have lots of things on the go. Because, like I started the hat, and it's like, okay, let's make the hat. I want the
Yeah.
hat.
I know. I'm like that for a day or two and then that goes out the window. And I'm like, oh, let's start something else.
Yeah.
So have you been how um what I wanted to say is you're sewing. Have you been making any new bags?
No, I haven't had time this week, and I actually wanted to thank everybody after my little update of new bags last week that stopped by and visited my shop, and thank everybody who purchased, because you all made my week really good.
Oh, that's wonderful. So
So
you have been busy sewing, just orders, not new
very
bags.
busy with orders, yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I was very happy.
That's
So
exciting.
yeah, I've got most everything should be out by Monday. So anybody who's waiting for a shipping notification, I'll have the rest of, I've sent out about 20 some odd orders this week already. So
Wow.
the
Wow.
last bunch will be going out by Monday. And then maybe I'll make some flamingo bags, because I'm excited to get that flamingo fabric out.
That would be fun. The flamingos, that just it immediately makes me think knitting on the beach.
Yeah, I got a really nice pink, bright pink cotton to go with it. So I'm gonna do both sizes, or both types of sock bags, like ones like this
Yeah.
and ones like this with the divider. I'll do
Divider.
some of those, and then I'll do, I think, a bigger drawstring. We'll see.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, those
Is
will
that-
be fun. I can't wait to see those.
Yeah.
More pink. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Having a shift, I think. Oh, well, good. So do you have anything else or is that have we
That's pretty much it.
isn't that always we always start this and we say, "Oh, I don't think I've got very much knitting done this week." And
I think we just like to talk about it.
all right. Well, look at this. Oh, look at my orangey stripe.
It's exciting.
It's so pretty. I love it. Oh, I can't wait. I'm picturing myself sitting outside